Hello everyone. My name is Leuis from BSED Science 3A, and in this video, I am going to discuss my topic, which is all about the Chapter 8, Teachers as Curriculum Leaders. So, our learning objectives are to discuss the key roles of teachers, leaders in curriculum processes, and then discuss the importance of teachers as curriculum leaders in planning and evaluating instruction. And then the third one is discuss the roles of teachers as curriculum leaders in the K-12 education program. And then lastly is to identify ways to develop teachers and leaders in curriculum. So we have here the key roles of teachers as leaders in curriculum processes. So teachers plays an important role in almost all activities related to curriculum processes. They are the chief implementers of the curriculum as they are directly involved in the teaching and learning processes. So teachers are the catalysts of the individuals and societies. They have a strong passion for mission to make a difference in the lives of students. So, di ba nga, yung role ng teacher is to educate lahat ng students. So, we can say that they are the catalyst for individuals because they are molding every student to become a better person by equipping them knowledge that will help the students survive life. So we have here the next one is curriculum leadership. So it is defined as a set of important roles and activities that each teacher does in relation to curriculum planning, curriculum design, curriculum implementation, and curriculum evaluation. So in curriculum leadership, teachers are expected to innovate and develop curriculum that are relevant and responsive to the needs and context of the students. They serve as education ambassadors of different stakeholders and they are advocates of various curricular reforms. So we have here the teachers as curriculum leaders share the vision and mission of the whole country in education. So the first one is they are shapers of positive educational environment and they are guardians of education values. So, di ba nga, teachers are our second parents. So, sa school, tayong mga estudyante ay ipinagkakatiwala ng ating mga magulang sa mga teachers upang maturuan ng mga mabubuting aral at values. So, the number 2 is they are visionaries and effective problem solvers. So, as a teacher, we can create a change in every individuals and also in the society. So like for example, tinuturuan nila yung mga estudyante upang magkaroon sila ng mabuting buhay sa future at matupad nila ang kanilang mga pangarap. And then, mga effective problem solvers din yung mga teachers kasi like for example, ang problema ng society is about improper waste disposal. So, tinuturuan nila yung mga estudyante sa tamang pagtatapon ng mga basura at pag-a-apply ng 3 R's which is reduce, reuse, and recycle. And then, the third one is they are professionals working with different social agencies and various stakeholders to improve quality of education and to make the curriculum more relevant and responsive and to ensure effective and efficient implementation of curriculum reforms, and policies. So, like for example, ang course nyo is all about agriculture. So, ang teacher natin ay nakikipag-ugnayan sa ating government agency like sa Department of Agriculture. So, like for example, ang lesson nyo is about sa pagtatanim ng mga iba't ibang gulay sa paaralan. So, yung teacher natin is pwede siyang makipag-ugnayan sa Department of Agriculture upang makahingi ng mga resources such as mga buto or seedlings na gagamin sa pagtatanim ng mga gulay sa paaralan. And then the fourth one is teachers ensure that the right of every learner in education is protected. So for example, students has the right to learn. So this means that they should be provided with the opportunity to attend school or participate in other learning environment. Also, they have the right to be treated fairly and respect. So here are some specific rules of teachers as instructional leaders in the local school context. So this is already self-explanatory, so there's no need to explain it further because it is easy to understand. So we have here the number 1 is designing instructional plans. Number 2, selecting and developing instructional materials. Number 3, assessing and reporting students' progress. Number 4, designing learning environment appropriate for the students. Number 5, selecting appropriate teaching strategies and approaches. Number 6, preparing reports and accomplishing official forms. Number 7, guiding students in their school life. And lastly, number 8, teaching subjects assigned to them. So next, we have the A to Z roles and functions of teachers as curriculum leaders. So for A, we have here advocate positive curricular reforms to ensure quality education. And letter B, broaden understanding of the teaching and learning process. So for C, conduct research to enhance curriculum content and improve teaching and learning. So letter D, develop appropriate curriculum for students. And letter E, evaluate curriculum materials and the implementation of the curriculum. And letter F, facilitate activities to ensure public understanding for every single curriculum reform. Letter G, gather important data needed for curriculum planning. Letter H, harness community resources in curriculum development. I, innovate curriculum and instruction. And in letter J, justify the need to innovate, evaluate, and develop curriculum. And letter K, knows every learner needs, issues, and interests. Letter L, lobby congressional support for bills that are needed for curriculum reforms. Letter M, manage curriculum implementation and curriculum change. Letter N, nurture creativity and critical thinking in the curriculum. Letter O, orient teachers, students, parents, and other stakeholders of the new curriculum. Letter P, provide updated knowledge on the subject they teach. Letter Q, quality acceptable curriculum ideas and theories. Letter R, reflect on different researches that influence the curriculum. Letter S, select appropriate instructional strategies, methods, and approaches. And letter T, train teachers who will implement the curriculum. And letter U, understand the implications of social issues and social changes in the curriculum. Letter V, validate the contents of the curriculum. W, win support from stakeholders and government on needed curriculum reforms. Letter X, crossing out bureaucratic barriers to curriculum implementation. Y, yearn for quality education through a relevant and responsive curriculum. And then lastly, for letter Z, zero out irrelevant and erroneous curriculum, contents, and materials. So we have here teachers as curriculum leaders in instructional planning processes. So instructional leadership is always associated with school administrators, particularly the school principals. Accordingly, curriculum and instruction are inseparable. Part of curriculum process is instruction that deals with the implementation of the curriculum. Curriculum leadership, therefore, is a broader in scope and has more functions compared to instructional leadership. So, yung curriculum and instruction ay hindi mapaghihiwalay dahil connected yan sa isa't isa. Tapos, yung curriculum leadership is mas broad yung scope niya and function niya as compared to instructional leadership. So, we have here Mac Ewan of 2003 pointed out that instructional leaders must be knowledgeable about the learning theory, effective instruction, and curriculum, which she recognized as the power within the educational force. So we have here the instructional leadership as one of the curriculum leaders may need to do the following. First is supervise the implementation of curriculum and academic standards. Second, promote a school culture and climate conducive to teaching and learning. The third, communicate to philosophy, vision, and mission of the school. The fourth one is train teachers and school staff. Fifth, lead in the development or purchase of the instructional materials. Sixth, prepare the budget for school instruction. Seventh, observe classes of teachers. And lastly, the eighth is check assessment tools such as exams and authentic assessment. So we have here the Reiser and Dix instructional and planning model. So as you can see, we have here the figure 23, which is all about the instructional planning model of Reiser and Dix. So first is to identify instructional goals. So like for example, ang goal nyo is to learn about the nervous system. So after that, you will identify the objectives by analyzing the content and analyzing the learner's characteristics. Like for example, if they are visual learners, auditory learners, or kinesthetic learners. So the next thing to do is to develop assessment tools. So like for example, before the discussion, you will conduct a pre-test, and after the discussion, you will conduct a post-test or a short quiz. And then next is to plan instructional activities. So like for example, mag-include ka ng mga activities such as games, mga role plays, mga groupings, and iba pa. So next is choose instructional media. So diba, since yung topic is all about nervous system, which is hard to understand, so as a teacher, you can use your laptop and speaker to play videos about the nervous system. So the instructional media is all about sa technology na iyong gagamitin during class discussion. So the next is implement instruction. So dito, i-implement na yung instruction. So you will apply in actual class setting, but if you think na yung instruction is maraming mali or need pa ng some improvements, then you can revise the instruction and go back again in identifying the objectives. So we have here planning instruction in Reiser and Dix model include the following instructional procedures. So ito yung paggagawa natin ng lesson plan. So the first one is motivation. So like for example, mag-prepare muna, check the attendance, and then mag-apply ng mga icebreakers or games. The second is presentation of objectives. So dito pinipresent na yung iba't ibang mga objectives or dapat nilang matutunan after the class discussion. So the third one is recalling prerequisite skills, and knowledge. So, like for example, yung nagkakanda kayo ng mga review about sa diniscuss last meeting. Then, the fourth one is presentation of information and examples. So, ito na yung actual discussions. And then, also, dapat merong mga example yung discussion para mas lalong maintindihan ng mga students yung lesson. And then the fifth one is practice and feedback. So you are asking your students about their positive and negative feedbacks about your teaching, and then you are asking if they learned something about the discussion. So number 6 is summary. So it's all about summarizing of what you've discussed earlier. And then the seventh one is assessment. So to assess if nag-learn ba yung mga students sa class discussion is that you will conduct a short quiz or an activity after the discussion. So, instructional media and other instructional materials also play an important role in instruction. Teachers need to select instructional media that can be used to help effectively implement the objectives of the lesson. Technology and other instructional form of media are parts of the interests of millennial students. So, sabi ko pa nga kanina na technology is one of the best instructional media ngayon kasi mas nagiging convenient yung discussion kasi pwede ka nang mag-play ng mga videos and mag-present ng mga pictures para mas lalong maintindihan ng mga students yung inyong lesson. So, that's all for the discussion and thank you for watching. So, I hope you learned something and see you next week and goodbye.